Today I'm going to show you the 10 best skills in FC26. For each one, I'll explain how to do it, when to use it in real matches, and one extra tip that most players miss. No useless skills, no button spamming. Only what actually works in competitive games. We'll start with the easy skills, but even these ones only work if you know when to use them, not just how to perform them. Let's start with the roulette. To perform it, rotate the right stick from the back of your player to the front. The side you rotate to is the side your player will turn. You can perform the roulette in multiple directions. The key reference is always the same. Start from the back of the player. No matter where you want to go, back to front is what makes the skill consistent. The roulette is perfect when you're running towards aggressive defenders who are stepping out to challenge you. As they commit forward, this skill lets you glide past them and beat your opponent cleanly. And remember, always perform it from the back to the front. You can check my controller input on the top right of the screen to see the exact motion. Now that you know how and when to use the roulette, let's move on to the next one. This is the last basic skill before we dive into the advanced ones. This skill is the Elastico. To perform it, rotate the right stick from right to left, passing behind your player. If you rotate from left to right, you get the reverse Elastico. It can be performed in any directions. The key is always the same, take in consideration the direction your player is facing. A clean 180-degree rotation is what makes this skill consistent. The Elastico is great to break defensive lines, especially when you're attacking from the side. It works best against passive defenders who are waiting instead of rushing in. The reverse Elastico is the one I use the most. I use it when I find space and want to position my player in a better shooting position. It helps you adjust your body angle quickly and attack the goal more effectively. And now let's move on to the explosive stepover. To perform it, hold L1 and move the right stick from the front of the player to one of the sides. After performing the explosive stepover, you can choose any exit direction. You can explode to the right, to the left, forward, or even backwards. What makes this skill powerful is that you decide the exit after the animation starts. That freedom of movement is what makes defenders hesitate and create space. This skill is especially effective when someone is trying to tackle you. Because it's fast and unpredictable, it forces the defender to commit early. As they step in, you can decide the exit direction at the very last moment. If the defender commits to one side, you explode to the other. That ability to react to the defender's movement is what makes this skill so good. And now, we're introducing the first skill combo. Old, but still very effective. To perform it, start with a ball roll by moving the right stick to either side. Then immediately perform a fake shot to the opposite side while moving the left stick diagonally in that direction. It's extremely effective when you want to cut inside and move away from the touchline. If you're near the wing, you can use it to come backwards or inside and position your player perfectly for a finesse shot. It's also very powerful when you're running laterally across the edge of the box. As you cut towards goal, this combo helps you change direction quickly and beat the defender. Here are some real examples of the ball roll scoop turn in action. All of these clips were recorded while I was playing FUT Champions this weekend. Same skill, different situations, but the same result. Creating space, beating the defender, and getting into a perfect position to score. While you're watching some more examples of this skill, and before we move on to the harder skill combos and mechanics that pros actually use, this is the perfect moment to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps support this kind of content. Now, the directional nutmeg. To perform it, hold L1 and R1, then flick the right stick towards the direction you want to go. This skill is perfect to create space for both shots and passes. It's one of the most used mechanics by pro players, and now we're going to show you where and when to use it. The ideal moment to use the directional nutmeg is when you're attacking down the wing and the passing lanes to the middle are completely closed. The timing of this skill forces defenders to shift and suddenly those passing lanes open up. That's how you create space to play the ball into the middle of the box. This is exactly why most pro players use this skill in these areas. But you can also be creative. If you spot space, you can use the directional nutmeg to set up a shot as well. Now let's move on to the advanced roulette. To do it, hold L2 and R1, then rotate the right stick from the back of the player to one of the sides. This skill is, by far, one of the most overpowered after the latest patches, and more pros are starting to use it at a high level. The reason is simple. It's extremely effective both on the wing and inside the box. On the wing, it helps you escape pressure and beat defenders. Inside the box, it's deadly because it protects the ball and creates space in very tight situations. If you want to improve and compete against better players, you have to master the advanced roulette. Now let's move on to the cancels, and we'll start with the McGeady cancel. To perform the McGeady, flick the right stick forward and then to either side. To make this skill fast and effective, you need to cancel the animation. To do that, press L2 and R2 at the same time, and choose your exit direction using the left stick. This cancel lets you fake one direction and explode into another. Used correctly, it creates space out of nothing and completely wrong-foots the defender. It works on the wing, in the middle, and inside the box. The strength of this mechanic is how fast you can stop and change direction. Defenders think you're going one way, and you're already gone. In this sequence, after using a few McGeady cancels, I finished the move with a Croqueta cancel to open the passing lane. And that's exactly what we're moving into next, the Croqueta cancel. To perform the Croqueta cancel, hold L1 and move the right stick to either side. The key part is canceling the animation. While the skill is playing, press the shoot button, then immediately press L2 and R2 and choose your exit direction with the left stick. Here's an example of why the Croqueta cancel is so important to create space. This skill has multiple variations, and the first one we're going to look at is the Croqueta pass. The movement of the skill forces the player to slow down just enough to get a better passing angle towards teammates. It's also very useful when you don't have a clear shooting angle and want to beat the goalkeepers instead. But the strongest variation is the Croqueta into shot. It's extremely fast, hard to read for defenders, and the shot that comes out of it is very overpowered. Here are 3 goals scored exactly like that. Now let's move on to the drag back fake. To perform it, flick the right stick forward and then to one side. While the animation is playing, press L2 and R2 to cancel it. At the same time, use the left stick to choose your exit. You have to pull it to the same side of the skill first and then to the opposite side. This is the easiest and most consistent way to perform this skill. But it's also the hardest skills to master in FC26. But once you control it, it becomes one of the most unpredictable moves for defenders. The reason is simple. The animation fast and the exit is unpredictable. That hesitation is what completely freezes defenders and gives you the advantage. Now, let's slow this down. Here's a skill in slow motion, with a zoom on the controller so you can clearly see the exact buttons I'm pressing and the timing required to execute it properly. All these skills and combinations are extremely useful and very satisfying to perform. But the truth is, no pro player relies only on skill moves. The most important part of dribbling is still the simple stuff. That's why this final section is focused on analog dribbling and R1 dribbling, also known as technical dribbling. Instead of sprinting all the time, which makes your player less agile, focus on control. Use analog dribbling to have a better control, and when you want to move forward, hold R1. It keeps the ball closer and helps you attack open spaces or slip between defenders. This is how pro players control the tempo. If you watch until here, leave a like on the video, and if you want to see a tutorial with all the skills on FC26, check the video on your screen. And if you want to learn how to defend against them, you can also watch my defending tutorial.